And as painful as it is to hear Donald Trump talk, and as embarrassing it is as an American to hear him talk,
I guess what I would say, you just never know what somebody's going through.
I think it's good. We get to hear it, we get to know who people are, and now we get to cleanse it out of our country.
It seems like Will's controversial past is catching up to him slowly these past few days since a 2016 comment he made has gone viral for allegedly calling for a cleansing of Trump supporters from the US. Trump supporters and other people who didn't like his comments took it to social media to express their disappointment in Will, who has slowly started losing favor with the crowd. He made the comments at a Dubai news conference for the Suicide Squad film in August of 2016, after being asked by a reporter if he had any comment on Islamophobia in the US.
You know, that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment.
From recent actions by Will himself, the only response we have been getting is an apology and some tears, and that would most likely be the exact same response after being canceled by Trump supporters. Now, let's not get our mind twisted. At the time of the interview, Trump's campaign for the presidency was ongoing, during which he used anti-Muslim rhetoric and proposed policies targeting Muslim communities. It seems like Will felt the need to call out Trump for his behavior and how it would affect communities if he were to be president. Smith spoke about the upcoming U.S. presidential elections, saying he believed it's important to speak out about the insanity surrounding the race and to stop people with Trump's mindset from insulting and abandoning the Islam community.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Earlier in his campaign, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump had said he would temporarily ban Muslims from entering the United States, sparking outcry particularly in Dubai, where Trump has lent his name to several high-profile real estate projects. For someone who is benefiting from the Islam economy, it felt treacherous to multiple people that Donald would want to cut off the hands that were feeding him all for the sake of becoming a leader. Smith decided to speak up and be vocal about the issue, just as he has been vocal about issues of race and discrimination in Hollywood. Both him and his wife Jada Pinkett Smith once boycotted the Oscar ceremony in protest against 2 straight years of all-white acting nominees. This decision actually had some effect to some extent, because after the boycott by the couple and other prominent black actors, the Film Academy promised it would double the number of female and minority members and diversify its leadership. Smith claimed he believes it's his responsibility to create an impression with people where when they see a black man, the energy that we get can be what they remember. Now, the rumor that got him canceled was started in April 2023, where a Twitter user shared video of a section of Smith's comments, writing, "Disgraced actor Will Smith advocated genocide against Republicans." The video was captioned, "Will Smith cleanse America of Trump supporters." In the clip, Smith says, "As painful as it is to hear Donald Trump talk and as embarrassing as it is as an American to hear him talk, I think it's good. We get to know who people are and now we get to cleanse it out of our country." It's true that he said what we all heard, but to be clear, his words were taken out of context and misinterpreted, since Smith did not advocate for genocide, nor did he call for cleansing America of Trump supporters. As can be seen in the full video of the interview, Smith was asked what message he had as a public figure coming from the U.S. to the Middle East at a time of Islamophobia with a lot of turmoil happening in the region. He was asked the kind of message he had for people that were seeing it from the outside without realizing what exactly was happening. "It's important to show up," Smith said. "It's like, I'm in Dubai and I'm having fun and I'm tweeting and I'm showing pictures. Hey, it doesn't look like they hate me, does it? I think the imagery of it is hugely important to me." Smith then went on to talk about the actual Islamophobia prevalent in the US, comparing the vitriol to the feelings that come out in a marriage counseling session. Ultimately, Smith used the term cleansing to mean a form of truth-telling or a dialogue in which the parties come to understand one another's grievances and move forward in a relationship. Will wasn't trying to get canceled or anything, he was only trying to give his opinion, since the full text of his comments shows that he was not advocating for a genocide of Republicans or a cleansing of Trump supporters from the US, but rather a call out to Trump to stop Islamophobia. While most people were condemning Will for his comments towards Trump, Howard Stern actually called him another Donald Trump. He said that Will Smith slapping Chris Rock during the Oscars proved that Will and former President Trump were the same guy. Howard tore into Smith following the Academy Awards shocker where Smith assaulted a man in front of millions of spectators from all over the world. On the 94th annual awards ceremony, Smith took to the stage and slapped Chris Rock after the comedian cracked a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who apparently has alopecia, and the joke was a hit to her insecurities. "The first thing I said was, what the F is going on, because where's security?" Stern said on his eponymous radio show. "This is a live television event. Not one person came out because he's Will Smith. This is how Trump gets away with shit." Will Smith and Trump are the same guy, Stern said, without elaborating about similarities between the two men. While condemning Smith, Stern said that what we all saw on TV was a guy who's got real issues, because no one is ever allowed to hit people over what they said, especially not at the Academy Awards, and Smith should have gotten hold of himself and contained himself. The radio personality also took aim at Smith's peers in Hollywood, many of whom applauded when the performer delivered a speech minutes later while accepting the Best Actor trophy. Stern said, "Here's Hollywood that's so outraged by every little thing. Not one person got up and said, 'Hold on, we got an out-of-control situation here, how this guy was allowed to sit there for the rest of the awards.' And he's laughing it up and having a good time with his wife." Stern claimed that by assaulting Rock, Will took matters into his own hands, and it was like saying, "Well, I'll shoot you because you insulted my wife." This can be considered Trump's behavior because he also has a tendency to take matters into his own hands despite the consequences. Stern wasn't the only high-profile figure to compare Smith to the 45th president. In a tweet, Rosie O'Donnell lamented that Smith wouldn't be held accountable for his actions, saying it was just like the Trump years. While Will is being compared to Trump, he doesn't seem to like the former president, and he even said Trump's policies may eventually force him into the race for the White House. It seems like Will considered himself a better fit candidate for presidency. In an interview airing on CBS Sunday Morning, the concussion actor didn't shy away from his political ambitions. "If people keep saying all the crazy kinds of stuff they've been saying on the news lately about walls and Muslims, they're going to force me into the political arena," Smith said, referring to Trump's pushes to build a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border and bar Muslims from entering the nation. This thought must have also been the reason why he supported cleansing of Islamophobia that was being proposed by Trump during his now controversial interview. "I mean, I gotta be president. Come on," he added. "What else would I run for?" Will said he was open to launching a career in politics after his acting days were over, and he even took it to himself to hold a fundraiser for President Obama during his 2012 campaign for re-election. Will Smith then said his next role might not be in a summer blockbuster, but on the campaign trail. In another interview on Hollywood Reporter's Awards Chatter podcast, Will claimed that while looking at the political landscape, he thinks that there might be a future for him there, and he believes he is needed in that landscape. He then added, "This is the first year that I've been incensed to a level that I can't sleep, so I'm feeling that at some point in the near future, I will have to lend my voice to the conversation in a somewhat different way." Calling himself a climber, he offered a glimpse into what might motivate him to enter the political realm, claiming that he wasn't a camper and didn't like staying in one place for too long. "If I see a mountain, I have to climb it. So I think, at this point, I'm elevating my ability to be useful in the world." Smith concluded, "I think that that's what my grandmother always hoped, that I would make myself useful to people in this lifetime." Well, let's hope he makes Grandma proud. But that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon, not after his Oscars controversy and all the others that have been creeping up on him lately. A fan on Twitter said, "Willie needs to look in the mirror on the embarrassment angle." Another said, "He's embarrassed because of Trump, but not embarrassed by his wife sleeping with their son's friends." Anyways, let's not forget that this video is based on theories and my opinions and should not be considered facts. That's it for this video. Bye.